Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited and happy to be here with you. And I want to introduce my wonderful friend, Tanya, who's a love and relationship coach, who has been going on this journey with me. We've been doing this together, and it's just really exciting to be working with her. And yeah, I'm going to pass it on to her, and she'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to talk about.
Hi, Soleil. Oh, I feel so grateful to be here and to be sharing our love with these beautiful ladies. I hope that they can benefit from what we're going to talk about today. I'm sure they will, because this information has changed our lives, and I'm sure we'll be able to help them a little bit. But before we begin, I'm feeling curious. I'm sure the ladies are as well. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got here.
Well, I got divorced about 11 years ago now. And I was single for a long time, and I dated here and there, and I had a couple of boyfriends, and, it just was disastrous, really. And I started feeling so, I don't know, my self-confidence was just not there. And then I just started feeling like everybody I was going on dates with, there wasn't any nice men out there. And then if I did meet a nice man, something would happen. Like we'd go on a few dates and I'd think, oh, wow, this guy's really nice. And then he would just disappear. And I'm really, I don't know, I got to a point where I didn't even want to try anymore. And then my beautiful daughter said, no, Mom, you have to keep trying. And so, I put myself on a dating app, or actually my daughter put me on a dating app. And thank you, Elena, my beautiful daughter. But it was so interesting. The men that were sort of responding to me, they really only had one thing in mind, and I'm sure you can guess what that was. And nobody wanted a serious relationship. And whenever I met someone that I did like, I don't know, I felt like I was doing something wrong. I really felt like I had like a sign on my forehead that said, run. And so then I was like, I think I have to change. Like, it can't be every man in the universe is proposing. Something I'm doing is chasing them away or something. So I came into contact with Rory Ray's work, and it just changed my life. I was doing things wrong. There were things I was doing, of course, not intentionally, but things I had learned that I thought I should do, that was kind of sending out a wrong vibe. And yeah, wow. Chasing me. I think I really was.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting how we've all been there, and we've all been doing the wrong things until now. But that's the beauty of this whole Rory Ray work, how we can get to choose again, how we can get to learn how to do things differently and just shift our whole vibe and just the way we approach things, right? Yeah. I can totally resonate with you, because I was on the same boat, divorced as well, and I couldn't find love after the divorce, and I was just meeting men that weren't available because I wasn't available myself, and my heart was completely closed. And so I had to do the work to open my heart and get out there and, shift my vibe and my mentality so I could start attracting the good men. And so that's the beauty of this work, because if we did it, then we can show up as inspiration to all these ladies and, show them that they can do it as well.
Yeah. And when you changed, what did you feel like was the biggest change that you had to make?
It's all about how we show up. It's all about the inner work. We think it's about the guy. We think it's about, all the focus we put on the man. And so all our energy is on the guy. and we're focusing on him, and it's all about him, and why is he not doing this, why is he not showing up, and we don't get to stop and look inside ourselves. Like, what are we doing? How are we reacting? Are we really expressing ourselves? Are we telling him what our needs are? And so when we start doing that work, all our inner work, and start focusing on ourselves and shifting our vibes, that's when the whole thing changes. So that's where the magic is, because actually you do the work on yourself, and then you get the benefit of the guys showing up, the good guys showing up, of attracting different men. So for me, that was the shift, because I was always focused on the man and not on myself. And that's actually a great, I think we can just jump in, using this, jump into our theme for the day today, which is that our men are not responsible for our happiness. And we both went through a similar situation a couple of weeks ago, where we both had this breakthrough. And so do you want to share a little bit about that, your thoughts, how your experience went, and we can just chat along as we go?
Sure. Well, so I have a lovely man in my life, just gorgeous and wonderful. And then, I started, I don't know, I stopped. No, I have to say I stopped doing soleil things. I started kind of just being at home a lot more, kind of thinking about what I was going to make for dinner for us, thinking about what he was doing. I stopped dancing, which is my favorite thing in the world to do. I wasn't going out dancing. I wasn't painting, because that's my other passion. I don't know, soleil put on a shelf, and I don't know what I was becoming this, I don't know, I guess what I thought I wanted him to be, what he wanted me to be. I was trying to be, I don't know, the good housewife or something. So I just stopped doing all the things I love doing. And then I was getting really miserable. And then my wonderful, lovely man, he didn't text very much. He sort of slowed down on the texting. And, when he came over, he would just have his phone there, and he was like chatting with his brother-in-law about things. And so he'd come over, and then I would feel like, well, why are you here? And I'd get a little bit feeling grumpy. And then I started just like, okay, well, maybe I had to make a nicer dinner. And I don't know, I just put all this focus on him. And then I also was like, well, he's not doing this, and he's not being romantic, and he's not helping, and he's not cooking me dinner, and he's not asking me on dates. And and
isn't that what happens most of the time? Like, we women, we get into a relationship and we do everything for the guy. We focus on him, and we lose our identity. We think that if we cook him dinner, if we do the things for him, he'll be more in love with us, right?
Yeah.
And we forget that he actually fell in love with us because we were this happy, free, alive woman, who loved dancing, who loved the arts, painting. That's the woman that he actually fell in love with. But then it's natural, because we go into this relationship, we're like, no, now I have to do everything to please this guy. And that's what we were talking about before. Like, the focus shifts, because the focus before were on you nurturing, your inner goddess, and just showing up as this beautiful queen, and just living a happy, juicy life. And he falls in love with that woman. And then, you go into the relationship, and you're like, okay, now what do? We get into this needy, desperate state. We're like, okay, we have to do everything for this man. And and like you said, then you're like pushing him away, because when we get into that needy state, right, you're like moving forward, you're into that masculine energy where you're doing the actions, you're right, doing everything for him.
You start texting. Yeah. Yeah. What was your experience last week?
Yeah, it was so similar. I love it. And I laugh at how the universe brought us together and we actually had a chance to share as we were going through this. But my experience was that I just caught myself reacting to his actions. So,
Okay.
and that's why I love the topic that we gave to this. Your man is not responsible for your happiness, because what happened was with me is that I was feeling the need for more connection. And so that whenever I got a message from him, I would feel happy. Oh my God, he loves me, you know, he's there, he's showing up, blah, blah, and I was happy. And the days that I didn't hear from him, I was just feel crappy and sad. And, you know, but that's crazy. That's crazy because we allow our lives to be guided by this other man's actions or lack of actions,
Yeah.
you know? So if when we should be the ones responsible for our happiness, the happiness should come from the inside, not from someone else's, you know, actions, or like I said, lack of actions. And when I realized that, I was like, this is insane. No, I'm going to go back to making my own life juicy and happy. You know, I'm going to be responsible for my happiness. And then I'm going to show up happy. That's going to be great, actually, for the both of us, because then I won't show up as a needy woman, you know, and then like asking him, why is he not sending messages? Why is he not calling? No, I'll just be happy. And then I'm sure, well, I actually felt it all the times when I just like turn back to my life, you know, I call it dancing with life, where I just go and do things that are fun for me. Like you, I love dancing. I love yoga. I love using essential oils, listening to music, just things that make me feel alive. My whole shift vibe, my whole shift, sorry, my whole 5 shifts. And he notices that because it's an energetic shift. And so he shows up. So it's actually a win. When we realize that, it's actually a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Because you're living you know, you're happy with yourself, you're living a juicy life, and then everything shifts. But it's like I said, it's all about you.
And isn't it crazy? Because you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for you. And yet you get an immediate change. I had the same, almost exactly the same experience after talking to you. Because, you know, Tanya said, Soleil, what's going on? And so I was like, I'm going to find my favorite piece of music. I'm going to put on some nice clothes and some lipstick, and I'm going to cook myself a really nice dinner. I'm going to drink a glass of wine because I love good wine. Sorry, I have Charlie the cat here. Is being a little bit.
Charlie, I think Charlie wants to be in the video.
And it was crazy. I had a shower. I did my hair really nice. For me, it doesn't have to be for you, but I love putting on some nice makeup, and I poured myself a glass of nice wine, and I just started dancing in my kitchen. I didn't even need to go out dancing. I just danced in my kitchen, and I felt good for me. And then it was literally like magic. I wasn't doing it for my man. And yet the next day, my man phones and says, hey, you know, honey, I want to cook you dinner. And I bought some really nice massage oil, and I want to give you a back massage. And he came over, he cleaned my whole kitchen, he cooked, and it was crazy. Like it was wonderful and crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what is it in what fulfills me, and who am I being? Because that was the other question I had after we talked was, well, who am I being when I'm kind of being this miserable, fault-finding person? Would I want to be with me? No.
Yes. Actually, that's a very important question to ask ourselves. Would I want to be with me?
Yeah.
Because then we get to shift that.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
so beautiful, Soleil, to see how you shifted. Your whole vibe just changed and you're just glowing. And it's just so nice to see that. And even now, as you talk about it, it's just beautiful. Yeah. And the best part about it as well is that it's so easy, you know? It's it's mind-boggling actually, because we think that we need to do all this work and hustle and fight for it, when all we have to do is just allow ourselves to be happy. You know, that's the feminine energy, that's the feminine way to go. And it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
I agree. So, well, you know what? I'd love to hear from other people who watch this video and hear their experiences and see if they can experiment with what we've just been suggesting.
We'll leave our contacts in the description below in case the ladies want to learn a little bit more about us and our work.
Leave a link down below.
Okay.
And, you know, you're welcome to meet with either of us, you know, just drop us a line and try out a free session with us and see whether I'm pretty sure we can help you. I really know that Tanya has helped me with my relationship a huge amount.
And so have you. Okay.
You know, I'm just so excited to share this with other women, because it really literally changed my life. I mean, after being single for 11 years and then just being with this man and it being so different and wonderful, it really, yeah, just feels it's just been life-changing.
Yeah,
absolutely
amazing. And the beauty of it all, for me, is not about the guy. It's about how I changed as a woman, how I show up in a relationship now, how I'm more in touch with my feelings, and how even in my life and other relationships, you know, family relationships, friends, it's just become so much easier and lighter. And you just like, wow, it's like, where was this information, you know? All these years, I should have known this before. And so because we have tried it on ourselves, and because we've seen the work, we've seen the shift, that's why we love sharing it. So yeah, we hope to bring a lot more love and information for you ladies. And yeah, and you can also, you know, leave some comments and some suggestions for some topics maybe that you want us to talk about. That would feel lovely as well.
Yeah, if you have a question or a situation you want to put before us and see what we have to offer, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Thank you so much, Soleil, for being here. I feel so grateful for this opportunity.
Yes, me too. Absolutely wonderful.
Bye.
Besos. Ciao.